Hi, everybody, and welcome to Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba. The Bisons coming off a 55-15 victory on Saturday afternoon in Monticello, and Coach 5-0 on the season. And maybe, I think more importantly, as people have been talking about, a very exciting time because the ninth straight win for the Bisons, and that's the first time that's happened in program history.
That's an awesome stat, Billy, and we feel fortunate to be associated with the young men on our football team right now. They are doing a fantastic job, and in addition to that, I think our coaches are doing a great job of getting those guys prepared week to week to play. We were certainly concerned about the trip down to Monticello. Those guys are a lot better than their record, and I think they proved that on Saturday. They were in the game with us for sure in the second quarter and had moved the ball down the field. Their quarterback is doing a great job of throwing the football right now. They've got some good receivers, and just the conditions, everything associated with that worries you as a head coach. That your team is going to be ready. That we're going to be able to handle a little adversity in an environment like that. They historically play well at home, so for us to be able to regain control of the game and win in a convincing fashion was great for our football team. We needed a battle like that.
And turnovers were an issue, obviously, in that football game. We played a very rainy game down in Texarkana at the end of the season in the bowl game last year.
Right.
But as you mentioned to me earlier, that was on turf. Playing on the natural surface of grass makes it a little bit different, doesn't it?
It's a totally different deal. And I would, give their grounds crew credit. They did a great job. They have a really good field, and it's a natural grass field, but they take really good care of it. But when you get 5 inches of rain the night before, there's not much you can do. They were having to drain the field as we were, going out there for pregame warm-ups. So, you know what you're dealing with. They've got to deal with the same issues, and I was really happy about our. The way we took care of the ball. We had no mesh issues, no pitch issues. We forced a pass, and I'm going to take credit for that. I think we were trying to throw the ball when we didn't need to, so I'm not going to put that on Keenan. We should have been running the football. They hadn't stopped us yet. But the issues that we weren't happy about, obviously, Romo had 2 fumbles down the field, and he normally takes really good care of the football, and so that had identified an issue that we need to work on, and of course he's very aware of that. He is a person with real high expectations for himself. So we're going to hit that really hard this week, and it's timely for us going into our game with OBU.
We have some very exciting highlights to look at, particularly the first half. It was an exciting first half down in Monticello, and we'll start looking at those highlights right after this.
Packers, Vikings, Packers,
It's strange not seeing us
Red
in the
state,
morning.
blue state, vegan,
Carnivore,
We come from different places.
Uptown,
downtown,
Optimist,
We come to different conclusions.
half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back to Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba. The Bisons 5-0 on the season, and quite a battle down in Monticello, particularly in that first half in the rain. And your team has been so dominant this season in the first quarter, Coach, and came out and got off to a good start on Saturday on the road.
We did, and we converted our first third down with a reverse to Donatella. And we felt like he had a great chance to take that one to the house, but the field was so slippery he couldn't hardly turn the corner. We come back and run the first phase of the triple option to Romo, and he's got great blocking, and he's also running very determined. We run the triple option again, this time into the boundary, get the ball pitched to Jason Aller. You can see our wide receiver blocking right there on the corner, doing a great job. And then we run the quarterback ISO to Keenan in for a touchdown, and we're on the board with a score. And these kicks that you normally take for granted in a very wet field, they're always an adventure. So we were proud of those guys getting that converted. This is a fumble caused by Trayvon Bigelow, recovered by Romus Robertson. Gives us great field position. We run the toss to Zach Shelley. Zach does a great job of following his blocking, staying on his feet, getting us down in close territory, and then we get the ball in with the quarterback sneak.
And the offensive line just continues to play well, Coach. I thought they were super in the slop down there on Saturday.
Unsung heroes week to week, Billy. Those guys are doing a great job. Not only them, our slots, the way they're blocking, our wide receivers.
Here's a big play by the defense coming up,
This was
Coach.
a huge play, and it happened so fast. I don't think any of us really knew what went on. You can see Lou Duranda takes that ball away from the quarterback and gets it into the end zone. We won't talk about whether he was on the ground or not. He got in there for an end zone. We got a touchdown, and we're up 21-0.
Yeah, 21-0 at this point, feeling pretty good about things.
No doubt. And this is the, we run the double option, the pitch to Romo, and he's got the ball out away from his body, which he knows he can't do. And we get a turnover, or we turn the ball over, and then those guys throw the back shoulder fade right there for a touchdown. That was a very well executed pass play on a tough field.
Right, and that's actually their second touchdown, so now it's a 21-13 game at that point, and a big blocked extra point by Darius Lane.
Darius, playmaker every week. I'm so proud of him. They ended up with, I think, 6 fumbles that we got, which was a huge factor in the game. And here's another one right here. This was very timely because they had the ball deep in our territory. This was what I was talking about. Normally when we throw the ball down the field, we got somebody wide open, and when we don't, it means that we're throwing into coverage, which we don't need to be doing. This was another big turnover for us.
Yeah, Devon Carter gets the football right back for you, and I thought scoring right before half was very important.
It was huge. Game. I felt like those guys had the momentum, and I think our team felt the same way. But we did get the ball in the end zone, and that put us at 27-15 going into halftime. So we did have we had a 2-score lead. This was, again, an instance where the field conditions made the ball real wet. We weren't able to get the ball set down and kicked, so we did not get the extra point converted on this one.
And so the Bisons at this point, 27-15 at the half, and going to the halftime locker room with the lead. And I'm sure, Coach, that you had plenty to talk about at halftime. But with everything considered, going on the road up 27-15 in this kind of condition, I know that you had to be pretty pleased with where you were at this point of the game, right?
Well, we knew. I think going into halftime, we knew we had some adjustments that we needed to make, and we were all focused on that. The fact that we had a lead, okay, that's great, but we also felt like we let a lot get away from us in the first half. So really proud of our defensive staff. Went inside. Those guys had 16 first downs in the first half. They had 4 first downs in the second half. We completely kept them off the scoreboard in the second half, and that's a credit to those guys and our players and them going in at halftime and being able to make adjustments. By the same token, our offensive staff did a great job too. Going in, we knew they were doing some things that we could take advantage of, and we were pumped because we knew we were going to get the opening kickoff of the second half, and we felt like we could do something with it, and it turned out that we did.
So 27-15 at the half, the Bisons with the lead. They've been dominant all year long in the third quarter, and that would continue on Saturday, and we'll get a chance to look at those highlights when we come out of this break.
We explore dozens of complex subjects, but sometimes the world sees college students as being the same, lumps us together. That's okay, because the world may underestimate what we can do as strong, responsible, highly trained, and confident Christian professionals. And isn't that what the world needs? Qualities taught one-on-one and valued by us all in a place of faith, learning, and living. Harding University.
Hey guys, thanks for coming.
Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to set some ground rules.
Like what?
Well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was pretty graphic. Too graphic for the kids. So I'm going to have to block you.
I got to make this up to you. This is Vinny's watch, and I want you to have it. You deserve it.
Thank you. That's really not necessary.
No. Come here.
Hi, and welcome back to Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba. The Bisons 27-15 at this point at halftime. Get the football back, and your football team, coach, has been so dominant in the third quarter. 56-0, you've outscored the opponents this season, and that did not change any with the dominance on Saturday.
Well, as I said before we went into the break, I feel like that is a indication that we're doing a good job at halftime making adjustments, and our guys have got the right mindset when they're coming out on the field to begin the third quarter. It is a situation where we have started out with the ball in 5 games, and we have done exactly what you need to do in that situation. That's go out and make a statement, drive the ball down the field, get a touchdown, and we were fortunate to do that again this past Saturday.
Yeah, the defense was dominant as well on Saturday. Now we get a chance to look at the highlights from the second half as Jason Aller has had a really good couple of weeks carrying the football. We know what a great job he always does blocking.
Right, and so, those slots know that, it's going to come to you. You block, then all of a sudden it's your day to carry the ball and get the yardage. And so Jason is, super accountable as a blocker, and happy to see him get some touches. This is Ahmad Scott also. Ahmad had a great day running the football Saturday on tough field conditions. And this is Ahmad with the toss. He follows his blocks, breaks a tackle, gets into the end zone, and that's a really good 6-yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a great drive, 70-plus yards to begin the second half, 72 yards. You go up 34-15 at this point of the football game, and John gave with the extra point. Defense gets you the football right back again.
And here comes B-back number 2 with Petty. And as you can see, we don't lose anything when he comes in. He does a great job of running behind his pads. Zach Shelley, another guy who doesn't start but is as good as anybody we got, does a great job. And depth is critical for a team that's trying to make a championship run. And we are fortunate that we have really good players at a lot of positions.
And they get down in the red zone right here, trying to go up 41-15. And I thought this touchdown, Coach, maybe very early in the football game, the third quarter anyway, it started to drop the hammer at that point.
Right. Well, we possessed the ball for about 11 minutes in that third quarter and got 2 scores, so that regained the momentum for us, obviously. So proud of Tristan Parsley, our freshman kicker.
Yeah, 48 yards.
48 yards. In tough situations, and then Darius Lane goes down and gets the football just like Darius does. Darius is a tremendous playmaker, one of the best players in our conference, and he continues to make plays like that. This is a great job by Cordell Zielinski with the sack and the strip. Deontay Garrett with the recovery. Here we go again. This is a 4th down conversion. Pitch the ball to Ahmad Scott. Great blocking out in front of him, and he does a super job of following his blockers and getting into the end zone. We didn't have a ton of giant plays on offense on Saturday, but we had a lot of those 6- and 7-yard plays that were critical. This is a handoff on the first phase of the triple option to Matt Tennyson. Matt is one of our unsung heroes, does a great job on special teams, and he is a tough runner and gets the ball in the end zone. This is the second week in a row Matt's got a touchdown for us, so very proud for him and for our other guys that were in there at that time.
And there's your favorite play, Coach.
Favorite play, take a knee, 55-15. Great to go down to Monticello and get a win. Puts us right in the situation that we want to be in going into the OBU game this week.
And you talk about the depth. Keenan Kellett was outstanding running this offense, and then you get Park Parrish in there, and he plays a lot of that fourth quarter and trying to keep everybody fresh to make a run.
We are very proud of Park and the progress that he's made. This is, as I've said in previous shows, this is Keenan's 9th semester in this offense. It's Park's 5th. And you can see he's getting better every single day. And, when he stands on the sideline and watches the game, he's connected, he's involved, and he's making the reads too. And, when he sees things at the same time as the coaches are seeing them, as far as the way the defense is adjusting and different things that they're doing, that gives you a great feeling that, he's ready to go. We need him. He is ready to go.
And Romo Westbrook climbing up the all-time rushing charts. He's very close to number 3 now with 150 yards on Saturday.
And those were tough yards Saturday. He didn't have any 76-yard runs on Saturday. Most of his yardage was, 6, 8, 10, 4. And that's pretty typical for a B-back in a tough game. And so, very proud of Romo and proud of his O-line.
And I saw some notes on how the offensive line graded out. Talk a little bit more about the offensive line and how well they did play on Saturday.
They played extremely well. We had several guys grade out in the 90s, which is unheard of for an offensive lineman. And those guys are the unsung heroes, as I said earlier. They don't get noticed except by their mom or their girlfriend or their coach. But we have a veteran group of seniors that are leading that offensive line. They are guys that are tremendously accountable. They have very high expectations for themselves. And all you got to do is just pull up a film and watch those guys play. They play with tremendous effort. They'll get after you, and we're very, very proud of them and fortunate to have them.
So the Bisons with a victory on Saturday, and we have a very exciting Saturday coming up at First Security Stadium against Ouachita Baptist. We have a lot to talk about that game, and also a question for Coach when we come out of the timeout.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year? The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba as the Bisons victorious on Saturday over Arkansas Monticello. It's our opportunity right now to check in with a fan and see what is on Bison fans' minds and what they want to ask Coach Huckeba.
Hi, Coach Huck. This is Carter Burks. I'm a freshman here at Harding. I was just curious with the scoreboard being dedicated this weekend to 1959 team. I was curious what it would be like to the current players to be around those guys that kind of brought football back to Harding back in the day.
That's a great question. I think it's always good to connect with your history. And, these guys are a lot of years removed from that 1959 football team. But I think they have a great appreciation for those guys because they know how hard it was when they restarted the program. All you have to do is look around and see what it's like to move from NAIA to Division II, or as we did in the mid-90s, and you see some of the struggles that some of our institutions in our conference have had moving from NAIA to Division II. It takes a little while. Well, these guys moved into college football, and some of those guys had been playing intramurals here at Harding, and they opened up the first year and played a team like Delta State, who has been a dominant football program for a long, long time. And those guys still talk about that game, how big and strong and fast those players were, and they beat us pretty badly. I think that had something to do with the fact that in 2010, when we went to Delta State and played them at their homecoming and beat them for the first time, we got ahead of them big time in the first half. And Dr. City came over to me and said, "Huck, whatever you do, don't lose this game." And the reason he felt so strongly about that was he goes all the way back to 1959 in that first year when we played them and got beaten so badly. So those guys are representative of what Harding football is all about. Heart, character, accountability, loving your teammates, playing hard for 4 quarters, and our guys understand that. And so we're all just thrilled to death that they're going to be honored on Saturday, and they are actually going to make the Walk of Brothers with us at 3:45 on Saturday afternoon. So we want to invite all of our fans to come out and share in that. and cheer those guys on and cheer our current players on, and let's connect the past with the present and have a great day on Saturday.
And Coach, there are some nice photos of those guys. I understand 18 expected to be here for that celebration against Ouachita Baptist on Saturday. And I've heard some of those stories you talked about from Dr. City and Coach Moat,
right,
when they talk about the Delta State game and going down, and you know, that's just such a so important for me, I know, to get to be around those guys and to get to hear that. And I'll tell you, Jerry Moat and Jim City, I know, being around them this season, I know they've really been looking forward to this game with Ouachita Baptist and the opportunity to showcase the new video board that's coming in.
Well, you know, we use the term all the time, that guy bleeds black and gold, or we bleed black and gold. If you talk about Jerry Moat and Jim City and Lathan Garnett and Dr. Cliff Gaines,
right,
you know, those guys bleed black and gold. And, you know, it just makes me proud every time I see them on the sideline or after a ball game. You know, these rivalries with OBU, you know, they go back way, all the way to the beginning. And it's always been a really, really tough football game. You can always throw the records out the window. We're going to play hard against each other regardless, and that's been proven over the years. One of us have a great year, and the other one upset them. This year, you know, we are both having great years, and that just makes it even more special to play on Saturday. So looking forward to it.
So let's look ahead at the Tigers. Tell us about Ouachita Baptist and what we can expect to see from them coming in, because you talk about exciting games. I know I've seen a couple of very exciting wins the last couple of years against Ouachita Baptist, but oh, what a history this series has.
It's been awesome, and you know, last year we won in the last minute and 12 seconds of the game on a backside slant to Donatella that he took to the house. They pretty much had control of the game, and that one play changed it for us. It was a very hard-fought game. You know, they put a ton of emotion and preparation into that game, as did we. And when you do that, I'm telling you, it hurts to lose. I mean, you know, we do that every week, and we are two teams that are both playing very well right now on both sides of the ball. You know, you look at them; they are an exceptionally well-coached football team, and that's a Todd Knight football team. His team is going to be sound on offense. They're going to be sound on defense. They don't beat themselves. They play good in special teams. You know, they ran 2 punts back last week. They always have a great kickoff return scheme. They just don't beat themselves. And, you know, you look at the conference stats every year, they are not going to turn the ball over. They're not going to get their quarterback sacked. They're going to turn you over and just play solid, sound defense, not give up the big play. And, you know, I always, when we get ready to play OBU, I know we are going to be in for a battle because they're going to be exceptionally well prepared. And I hope they would say the same about us. And as we go into this game, we both have a lot on the line, you know, conference ranking, playoff implications. And, of course, that's one game at a time, and this just happens to be a very big one.
And I know, Coach, you want the fans to be there early. Come out, tailgate, enjoy the festivities on Saturday, because it should be an awesome day on Saturday.
It's going to be a great day. And you know, there are plenty of television sets out there on the little lawn area where we tailgate, where you can watch Arkansas play or whoever you want to play that afternoon. Come and be involved in the tailgate culture, and then come into the stadium and cheer us on.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the victory on Saturday. Best of luck this week, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Billy.
That's all for this edition of Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba. We'll see you next time.